everybody. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Morning Wood. I'm your host, Allie Burns. This is Detroit Lenny, and you are watching Morning Wood right here on the Max Wagers Network, brought to you by Picks and Parlays.
Hi, everybody.
And of course, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook. So here's like number one reason to get involved with Caesars, right? The Russell Wilson over 1.5 touchdowns yesterday. So, we all got it at minus 130. It was over 1.5 at minus 130, right? Josh did this on his account and it was a minus 173. It is not good value, one single little bit to take a minus 173, especially on a prop. So this is why you really do want to get signed on with these guys. Caesar Sportsbook had the minus 130 line. We all lost the bet. That's what happened. But at least we got it at proper value, right?
I don't feel good about it.
I don't feel good about it either. I
Can't
hate
stand
losing
them.
a bet, value or no value. You don't pay juice on winners, but
Sure.
at the end of the day, you spend more money on your losers when it doesn't hit. So
Hey,
up to 1,200. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go. No, go.
Up to $1,250 in a risk-free first bet for all new accounts. If you don't win, 100% of that money goes right back into your account as a free bet. And win or lose, you get 1,000 reward credits and 1,000 tier credits. I got to keep myself from saying real weird because reward and tier is real weird, and apparently that's a word that I have created. So.
Makes sense.
As far as so I'm a little hungover, y'all. I'm like Lenny yesterday, just a little bit.
I was tired.
I know, same. Also, like, subscribe, ring the bell. It was a really good game. Really good game. I teased the Seahawks and the under. I had the Seahawks money line and I didn't hedge it, which I was like so proud of myself. It took forever for the Broncos to flip into plus money, like forever for that to happen. And once it did, it was only a plus 110. So there was no point really in hedging that unless I'm getting a good number. Thank goodness I cashed. As far as the Woody goes, I never got a pick from Michael yesterday. So it really kind of depends on if he cashed or not. If not,
I don't know. I don't see a pick from him anywhere. So, I mean.
Well, he was on because he said no Shamrock Rovers today. Like, he was on yesterday.
Right. But,
We'll wait.
Oh, no.
Michael.
I don't know.
Michael. Russell Wilson's dead to you. So this was huge. Josh is the biggest Seattle Seahawks fan, Ebbs. But also what comes with that is he's a huge Russell Wilson fan, right? So he's torn. I go over his house last night. He is freaking torn. It's emotional. I understand because I just went through Coach K's last season. You know, like I understand that your team isn't exactly your team because you're missing somebody. But at the end of the day, it's like you can still root for both. It's just this game that you can't necessarily, you know. Russell Wilson did say that he did not think it was the coach's fault and the kick was the way to go, though.
That's the way he's got to say that, though. But in his mind, he's a damn lie. He was like...
I mean, this guy is like on the 1 yard line twice and screws it up. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not necessarily like thrilled with putting the ball in his hands.
Here's my thing. First of all, Breaking Vegas, your play didn't play yesterday.
Yeah, so, Breaking Vegas. What happened with that? Alize Cornett, I couldn't find anything on her. So tell me what happened.
So I don't, but my thing is you went out in the offseason, you spent all this money, you gave Russell Wilson a big contract, you gave up all these draft picks. Why? Because he's your franchise guy, right? He's your dude. What should you do? And then game one of the regular season, you don't trust him? You let him burn 30 seconds to call a timeout and kick the second longest attempted field goal in history? Get the hell out of here. He should be fired today.
Handicap, right? Handicap your handicapping. It's what we talked about with the Rams and the Bills, which I related to Duke's final home game against UNC with Coach K. So much pressure was on what side? So much pressure was on Russell Wilson. So much pressure was on the Rams. So much pressure was on Duke. At the end of the day, the Seahawks kind of had nothing to lose. And Geno Smith, I was loving. I already liked Geno Smith, but like he was hyped. He was in it. He was ready to go. Like Russell Wilson was the only one that had something to lose in that. Seahawks were free rolling. So it's why
I get it. It was emotional. I mean, I was on the Seahawks, and then I second guessed myself and went Broncos, whatever. But you know, I'll tell you what, I won't trust them all the rest of this year because that coach don't trust him. He didn't act like he trusted his franchise quarterback.
It was situational. I think that was a situational game where those boos.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Josh made the point that you know how Seattle has like the loudest decibels of any stadium. It's the loudest place to play.
Oh, Russ looks shook.
Russ has never been there with that on the other side of him. You know, like he was getting all the boos. He's feeling unappreciated. He just wasn't there. He just wasn't there. And it was tons of pressure. And, you know, I think next game, he's all good. I also picked up Geno Smith. I got rid of Trevor Lawrence and picked up Geno Smith.
Well, that's an overreaction on your part.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah. 100%. The fantasy football people, don't freak out. Don't start dropping people.
Part of my jam, I swear I like handicap this a little bit, is that the Seahawks.
You can't handicap fantasy football. You can't look at it from a handicapper. No, you
can't. The Seahawks play the Niners next. And if I get Trey Lance, then let's go Trey Lance. Geno Smith's got you.
That game will end up 6-3.
Seahawks.
So what? Geno Smith ain't going to get you 100 yards and 3 picks.
I also have DK Metcalf, who was on the bench for the game.
Well, he should have been because they didn't do shit. I mean, Geno Smith played his best game of the year already. In my opinion.
I like Geno. I do. I think he's a vet. I liked him with the Jets. I like Geno. I just do.
Oh, sure. I want to hang out with him.
Against the Yankees. Oh, I don't have a picture. So my Handy Capitans, I took the Orioles. They were minus 150 on BOL when I got them, and I took the Phillies over. Cardinals run line for you. So I want for my last Woody Phillies over 7, if it's still that.
Phillies.
Liverpool minus 1. All right then. Hi, Pedro Mas.
I set my glasses.
The other thing is, I would have never bet the game at all if the 6.5 didn't go to a 6. That was a huge thing for me. That reverse line movement was where I was at. Hi, City Boy Plays.
Denver's the better team, and they didn't.
How about them Lions? Where are you at? Well, they didn't look like it.
Hey, Silky, I appreciate you taking credit for telling me about my Lions.
Yeah, that's just it. Also, that was like 2 days ago.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, like you're going to tell him one single thing he doesn't know about the Lions, really?
Yeah, thank God you told me to tease him. No
Silky,
shit.
what's the official color of the Lions? You did hit on Sutton. I teased that under because it went up. That was the other thing. All that money was on the over and it kept going up, which was fine. But in a tease, they had originally set it at like 40 or 41. In a tease, I liked it. Well, Tate, you're a doll. It was a weird game, but it was a good game. Hi, Rail. Broncos cost you $700. Well, you should have listened to me then. Are you grumpy today? I'm kind of grumpy.
Me? No.
We're just quiet, I guess.
Yeah. No, I'm texting. I just text Cam that I emailed him the link because I have to tell him when I email him to check your email. You know.
Hi, Miami. Yeah. We haven't seen you in a while. I was glad to see you in the chat yesterday. Dodgers on the run line for you. Broncos coach was on the under. Play action would have killed it. Bayern over 3.5. Well, that's going to be a high scoring game. If you're going over 3.5 on a soccer match, let's go. Rickett, something was fishy. Broncos coach, terrible. I don't think anything was fishy. I just think that Russ had a lot of pressure on him.
He's known for that. He's known to be the guy that takes that pressure and runs with it, and he's on a better team with a better defense, and you shit the bed. Russ.
Yeah, but these are like your people. These are your fans, and they've all turned against you. Like,
they were cheering for him too. There was mixed emotions there. There was some boos, some whatever.
There was a lot of boos. Josh, like, his feelings were hurt over the boos because he's like, this is the guy that took you from nothing to something. Like, who was your last person? Matt Hasselbeck? Like, this is your dude, and I'm on this too, Jay Jones. And here you are booing him? Is it more of a boo because you're mad he left?
I mean, they traded him away. I mean, it wasn't like, it wasn't like they dropped him or he had a contract and didn't sign with them. They traded. They got draft picks. They got that defense. They got a tight end. They got draft picks. They got stuff. So, Seattle fans, if you're pissy that Russell Wilson's not your quarterback, you should be booing your general manager, not Russell Wilson. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I agree because at the end of the day, it's business, and Russ kind of needed to get out of there. I mean, the whole let Russ cook thing wasn't pretend. That was a real thing.
Right.
I made a teaser last night. Seahawks, Cardinals, Jets, Colts, Saints, Ravens. Damn you, drunk Allie. I thought the Lions were on there. That's why I was
looking. Can't drunk that.
I can drunk tease, though. It's $2. I made a $2.16 teaser.
There you go.
What you should do is not be in shotgun on goal line twice, and you are never in that field goal position. That was like, honestly, that was it. What up, Cam?
What up?
Hi, Cam.
Hello.
Cam
How are you?
Ross. How are you?
Hello.
Pretty good. You talking about a stupid football game last night?
I liked the football game last night.
I thought it was boring. I thought it was really a bad game in general. I did. But
I thought it was
what it is. I thought it was piss poor play calling from the Denver side. I mean, that coach. I'm still waiting for Twitter to break that he's fired.
Thank you, Rail. Who is going to play for the Niners this weekend? Are they going to go Jimmy G or are they sticking with Trey?
No, it's Trey Lance.
It's Trey.
Then I'm all over the Seahawks.
That game, though, every time they play, there's not 20 points scored. I mean, that game will end up in a field goal type situation. It's not.
But you talking about that coach?
Lenny, and the Hawks are getting 8.5 points.
Yeah, I would take Seattle. I would take Seattle on the points. But I would probably tease it up. San Francisco's not blowing anybody out. And you know what?
So,
you can't. How are you not going to blame Russell Wilson? You got like 5 delay of game penalties. That shit's on the quarterback. You get a delay of game. You're looking at the play clock. You're in charge. If it's at 1, call timeout. That's your job, bro. I don't care how. Hey, you're going to talk about the crowd? Bro, if anybody knows about the freaking crowd noise, it's you, Russ. You play there all the time. For Christ's sake, Russell Wilson, do better.
He sucks.
The amount of pressure on that dude. Okay, wait.
Time out real baby.
Quick. He sucks.
And
time out real
pressure.
Quick. AB, Joan, and Michael all lost, so they all pick again.
Okay.
That is all. So, Michael, I need another pick from you.
But Lenny, I've never
Can I ask a question about the 49ers? Why isn't Jimmy G their starting quarterback? Like, why are they putting this faith in this Trey Lance guy who's supposed to be a big deal? But, like, didn't they go to the playoffs with Jimmy G? I'm, like, legit asking this. Yeah. I can't figure this out in my head. And I'm sure there's, like, a real answer.
Ran through, like, 2 training camps with Jimmy G against Trey Lance, and Trey Lance beat him out. He beat him out for the position. He's younger. He's the future. They drafted him high. Jimmy G's one of the greatest backups ever. I mean, his greatest claim to fame is playing behind Tom Brady.
Yeah,
So,
I remember that when he
I mean,
took over that game.
What has Jimmy G done? Trey Lance at this point has outperformed Jimmy G, all in every way, shape, or form. So they want to get the world for Jimmy G and try and sell him high, buy him cheap, sell him high type thing. But yeah, Trey Lance is their future. I don't think, and he's not good, but Jimmy G is not.
I think that's great.
Very good either. So,
hi Cam, talk to us.
Yeah.
Oh no, I agree. I agree, and I've never seen a NFL coach have as bad of a debut as Nathaniel Hackett last night.
Man, it was horrible. You want to talk about somebody looking rattled? That dude on the sideline did not know what to do.
He for sure does not belong in the league, and it took one game. He didn't play, but Denver looked not. They looked not together, but Denver didn't play any of their starters the whole preseason.
It showed.
It showed bad. And they lost to a terrible team. Denver's going to suck this year too. Denver's in trouble. Russ looks scared to throw the ball. The play calling is terrible. The coach has no idea what's happening. And I don't know if you guys.
Nobody looked like they were on the same page. That's the problem. Is like he wanted to do things, and you're trying to change him. And it's Russell Wilson. He's a veteran. That's like having Tom Brady come in. I mean, I get that Tom Brady's the GOAT and all that, different level, whatever, but you're going to take a 15-year vet, bring him into your system, and then you're going to change him? No, Doc. Come on, man.
It's your first day on the job,
got him. Huh?
First day on the job.
Yeah.
Did you notice, Lenny, the last play where Russ checked it down to the back? Jerry Jeudy was butt naked open in the middle of the field.
And I'll give you credit to Peyton and Eli Manning because I was watching that broadcast. They sat there and they were like, hey, call the timeout for Christ's sake. There's a minute left. You let 30 seconds burn off that clock to kick the second longest field goal in the loudest stadium in the NFL.
Real quick. It was 64 yards. Do you know what that kicker's career long is?
Like not 64?
38.
55.
55. So you asked him to do 9 yards more in the biggest game. Like, man, that was just, I don't know. I mean, Seattle didn't show me anything, but Denver showed me a whole hell of a lot.
I don't think it was fixed at all, though, because that line moved to a 6 late. Like before game time, that line moved to a 6. That was like the line telling you that Seattle was the play. I don't think it was fixed at all. What do you guys think?
I don't think
I'm kind of over the fix. Like, I don't think games are fixed. I think lines can be fixed to make people bet one way or another, but Russell Wilson's not going out there trying to lose a game against the Seahawks. That's not what's actually happening. 4th
and 1 going for it as opposed and then trying to kick a 64-yard field goal. It's just dumb. It's just idiotic.
It really was terrible play calling on their part. And the whole way, like, I get you had all that time. You want to play for the field goal. Fine, play for the field goal at the end of the game. You can play for the field goal, but don't play for the 64-yard field goal, you jackass. You play for the 40-yarder. You play for the 50-yarder. Play for the 50. I don't care. But you had timeouts. You had all that time, and I'm so pissed. And here's the thing. I didn't want Denver either way. Like, I was good either way. I wanted Metcalf over whatever reception. So I didn't care at the end of the thing, but I'm a football fan and I'm watching football being called and I'm watching that play calling and I'm watching him try to call. What he's doing is try to call his shit at the line of scrimmage. That's why he kept getting all this delay of penalty calls because he's not with the same team. That's dumb on your part, Russell Wilson. You're in Seattle, yes. You know how to play there, yes. But you're on the other side of the game now. They're going to be loud against you. When you do that in Seattle before, they would shut up so your team, your linemen could hear the checkdowns and this and that. No, not this way. He's just not. Man,
I remember this stat from yesterday. And real quick, Don Play, I don't love a lot of unders today. Although yesterday, I think I was 2-0-1 or some. I did okay yesterday on the unders. If I had to pick two today, it'd be the Mariners and the Braves. I think could go under, but I'm not betting them. Cam, what are you digging today?
Not a lot. The Braves need to win.
Yeah, they do.
They lost again, and Kenley Jansen needs to be just released,
taken out into the street.
Yeah, Kenley's been terrible. Kenley's blown 7 saves this season. He's blown 3 in the last 2 weeks.
That's what he does. That's why the Dodgers got rid of him.
Kenley hasn't been the same since he got rocked in the 2017 World Series. He throws that cutter that doesn't cut. It's just a high, sitting there fastball. He won't change anything. He doesn't work on anything. He has no accountability, and he just goes out there and keeps throwing it.
Why is Jimmy so bad, though, that, like, Trey can't be behind him? Like, he can't back up Jimmy, and Jimmy teaches him the way. Like, I just don't get that.
Why would you want Jimmy G to teach anybody anything? What has he proven?
He just seems like he's more of a veteran, and he's been to the playoffs, and he's done decent things. And, I mean, what has Trey Lance proven?
It's time for Trey Lance
to the Bears.
It's time for Trey Lance. It's just time for Trey Lance because if you keep letting him back up Jimmy G, then Trey Lance is going to be 31 years old and he will have played 1 game. You know, it's time to, all right, let's see if you can do it. If you can't, all right, come on, Jimmy. And it's 1 game, you know, and the weather was crazy.
Yeah. I just don't get it. Like, I'm not a football person. I'm asking, like, legitimately. I just don't get it, I guess. And I know you guys are right.
Beat him out in training camp, flat out, in preseason and everything. He outperformed him. And they went to Chicago, and he lost against Chicago. But, I mean, it was also 70-mile-an-hour winds. And
a 70-mile-an-hour wind.
Raining cats and dogs. I mean, there was puddles, for Christ's sake, everywhere. I mean, I'm surprised they let the game go without no lightning. That much rain, usually there's lightning, or something like that.
Here's the thing, though. Average Joes are not going to move the line. Like, for it to go from 6.5 to 6, that was some sharp money that came in late that moved that line. That wasn't like the public betting that moved it. It was 66%. I screenshotted this to the Parlays last night to tell them. I think it was 66% of the cash. And beep boop. 77% of the tickets were on the Broncos. And a 6.5 goes to a 6. That tells me I take the Seahawks. Geno Smith looked good because the Broncos look bad. Who do you like today, Cam?
The Braves. They have to win. They need to win. And I have one play on the site. But the Braves have to win. I did like the Blue Jays in this first game, but Manoah got scratched.
I'm digging the Orioles today. I took that, and I took the Phillies over 7. I just think it's too low, and I feel like the Alcantara name is part of why it's low. But if you look at his last starts, where is he? Beep boop. It was 11, it was 9, it was 3, it was 13 in his last 4. And then Falter, 7, 20, 11, 5, 6. And then Phillies last 5. And Phillies on a day of rest. Marlins did play doubleheader yesterday, which makes me think maybe they're tired or maybe their bats are just all fired up because they hit 10 runs yesterday against Texas in game 2. So I'm going to roll over in that.
Okay.
Yeah, Jansen.
I'm on a few Nerfies. I'm trying to type them up in a batter here.
The Powerhouse Bears. Talk to me, Cam.
I don't like a lot today. I have just the one play. I only had the one play yesterday. I stayed away from football.
Thank you, JoJo.
Bro, Jimmy G been to a Super Bowl when he was holding Tom Brady's jockstrap. That's your claim to fame? That's what you're going to put him on a resume?
Yeah, but still he went to the playoffs against the Rams. I mean, he's a more veteran quarterback. He's a more experienced
Absolutely. That doesn't mean he's any good. I mean, Joe Flacco's a veteran quarterback. We saw what he did this weekend. I mean,
that's fair.
You know, I mean, I'm just saying, Jimmy G, I haven't, and listen, do you, Jimmy, get your money, get your bag, secure your bag, get all the money you can on your name while you can, because as soon as they let you play, they'll realize they overpaid.
Cam, can you
Yes,
break
ma'am.
this down, how money moves lines?
The way
Or are
money
you a person who looks at this when you handicap?
yes and no. I usually do it early. Also, Lenny, wasn't Jimmy G the starter when the Chiefs beat the 49ers?
Last year, he started every game, all the games for them, I think.
Yeah, but in 2020, he was their starter,
And the year before, yeah.
and they were up 31-20. They were up a lot, and then he shit the bed. But as far as money, the big money will swing a line because they'll alter the line to try to get more money on the other side from the big money. So, like, if somebody bets like $100,000 on 6.5, they'll drop it to try to get more money on this other side, and that's how they try to even it out. That's what. So when I saw somebody who said, "Is sharps the only people who moved lines?" Yes and no. Like if 10 sharps are betting, $50, as opposed to where if like me, you, and Lenny go and bet $200,000, we're gonna move the line. The money moves the line, but sharps usually bet bigger money, so it's yes and no.
And it's one of those things like that's what you kind of want to be looking for is where all the tickets are on something or the money's on something and the line's not moving. Ross Benjamin explained this to us in a great way. If the number's staying at 44, say the total's 44 and all the money's on the over and that number's not changing, the book is telling you we don't mind taking money on the over. If it was going the right way, they would move it up and up and up. I hope so. Ross Benjamin is really good for this. I'm not great at explaining it because it's part of the process I've been doing for the past year is trying to figure it out. And I'm getting a lot better. I will say that. The 49ers game is a great example. With all the hype on the Niners and all the hype on the Bears being horrible, why was that line at 2.5 or 3.5? It just didn't make sense to me. That line didn't make sense in the way it was moving. And so Bears were the play there. Same with Colts game, went 8.5, went to -7. Should have taken the Texans. And it depends on where the money is. If all the money's on the Texans, then that's moving appropriately. But if the money was on the Colts, which probably it was.
Yeah, I saw something. It was a picture of Vegas, and it said, if you've ever wondered why Vegas is so nice and pretty, 90% of the tickets were on the Seahawks were on the Broncos last night.
That's fair.
But it's money. It's money that moves.
We don't like to give away money in Vegas. It's not our
And with betting lines being like a -110 or a -115, that's how books make their money. Because if it's 50-50, they still get that extra little chunk on the back end. And what you're saying, like if the money's even or if it's close, they won't move the line because of that extra, $15 or $10. It's still going to be close enough to where they're not going to lose.
But at the same time, when that line moves, the money line moves too. So, now your plus 300 goes down to say a plus 250 or whatever it went to. That's not correct. But, you're also looking at people like this who are betting Seahawks money line. And now that money line is going to pay out less also. Braves, Guardians, Swanson over 2.5. Over 9.5 strikeouts. Holy shiz. I did some interception handicapping last night because I like the idea of taking over half of an interception for quarterbacks.
I do that sometimes too.
27. There were 27 interceptions over the weekend. 18 quarterbacks had them. 8 quarterbacks at home had 14 interceptions, whereas 10 quarterbacks on the road had 13. 14 quarterbacks had no interceptions. So 18 versus 14 isn't quite enough for like me to make some huge stat on it, but I'm on to something right now. I'm working on something.
There was only one team in the NFL that didn't score a touchdown this past week.
trying to think.
One team that didn't score a touchdown.
The Cowboys didn't.
Correct.
3 points.
The Cowboys never found the end zone. Losers.
LaHue is her.
They're going to struggle this year too.
Well, yeah. They were going to struggle.
That's a rough ride the Cowboys are about to take. Rough ride. But my plus 750 on the Giants to win the division looks a lot better.
By the way, the Cowboys were going to struggle before Dak Prescott got hurt. Just so we're all clear on that.
Just to be clear, like coming into week one.
But now they're really going to struggle.
Coming into week one, Cowboys struggle was on the board.
This is a good 100%. Point, Stimmy. Let's all remember that last night was the wipeout game. So that's what you're looking for in the slaughter game is where all the money is and what's not happening that should be. That's what the slaughter game is. So that was it.
Under was a great play. Primetime game unders crushing it as usual.
Yes, Braves lost yesterday.
Yeah, they lost.
And yes,
I don't know if that was the reason, but they need to win today because they were just a couple of days ago they were a half game up and then boom they were a game and a half back, and then the Mets lost last night and the Braves lost too. So
it's part of why I really liked the Guardians yesterday was because they were 2.5 ahead of the White Sox and the White Sox didn't play. That was a tricky game though. Hi, Brian.
Good day.
Freaking Mike, who gives a crap about him, Trout, with his, 9 home runs in a row? 7? 9.
In a row?
9 games in a row?
9 games in a row, he's hit a home run.
Yeah.
I thought you'd be like, that's in a row.
No.
So, my God.
Yeah,
my bad.
Right.
How about Big Al passing A-Rod?
No.
That was kind of major. I mean, he's not going to catch. Is it Babe Ruth that's next? I know it's Ruth, Aaron, and
Bonds.
He's
17 behind Babe.
So
look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Alex Rodriguez finished his career with 696 home runs. I would play until I'm 1,000 because I would not stop until I hit 700. You're 4 short. I'm going to make
17. He's 17 home runs behind Babe Ruth. And then it goes. He's got 697. Babe Ruth's got 714. Hank Aaron's got 755.
Couldn't you essentially not retire, come back, and play like half of the next season just until you get that record, and then be like, you know what, I'm out?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I would unretire to beat Babe Ruth's record. I would unretire for that.
Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac. Yeah, Bernie Mac. Yeah, he came back. He thought he had 3,000 hits. He retires. He opens up a franchise bar and wherever he played, and it's called 3,000 and this and that. And then some stat check nerd guy comes out and says, "No, bro, that really wasn't a hit. This one back in years ago." So then they're calling him Mr. 2999. So he comes out of retirement like 8 years after, 10 years after, to try and get like one more hit. Yeah. And it's like, it's a pretty funny movie. It's a good movie, but it's Bernie Mac. It's a classic. But,
getting a knock as opposed to hitting 4 bombs, that's a big difference. But I don't care, man. I'm going to come back and I'm going to swing 4 more. You need 4, and you'll be one of 4 guys ever. And there's been a million.
700?
There's been a million Major League Baseball players. I'm coming back. Yeah. Like if I'm A-Rod right now, with all this, he just passed me, I'm coming back.
I would love to see that.
Miguel Cabrera played this year so he can get 500. He's at 506. Yeah. I mean, that's all he wanted was 500. He got 506.
Yeah, and I'm not at all.
And he's good. And he's good.
Not
it's
at
like
all knocking Miggy. I'm not at all knocking Miggy.
Right, absolutely.
He's the latest Triple Crown.
Mm-hmm.
500. He's a first ballot guy, but 500 and 700 is
completely different.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like how many guys have 500 home runs?
There's a few,
apparently.
Actually. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, I know the answer. That was a rhetorical question. I know the answer.
Well, don't make us do math then.
19.
What do you say?
Well, I just counted.
19.
Huh?
28.
No, it's 19. I'm looking at it. Eddie
In the
Murray
league
has.
now or all?
Oh no, just all time.
Brian, this
Yeah.
is your Woody, right?
I mean, well, I didn't count. I didn't count the guys over 600 out as well and 700. I mean, I guess they.
Oh
have
yeah,
500
like
as
no,
well.
I'm saying like 500.
So,
like you're saying
yeah,
500?
28. Yeah, 28 total has gotten over 500. I
Yeah.
was just counting the guys in the 500.
In the five.
realm.
Oh no, I'm talking about.
Yeah. So 19 in the 500 realm, and then there's
19
1, 2,
active players, says Rickett.
no. Reggie Jackson's got 516, 563. Manny Ramirez, Mike Schmidt, David Ortiz.
It's crazy to me that Mark McGwire didn't even get to 600. 580 something.
Yeah.
That was part of what got me so into baseball. Like, was that
The
McGuire Sosa thing going on? Yeah, that was like right at the time I was kind of like jiving in with baseball, and that was just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and see on this list right here, this list isn't even up to date. They have Miggy still with 502.
I got him with 506 on Baseball Reference.
The closest to 500, Lou Gehrig and Fred McGriff had 493, but I don't think they're going to hit anymore. Nelson Cruz
Give me 1 second.
is the closest active to 500, 462.
That's fair.
500, bro. God.
I mean, it does shock me. You get people like, Barry Bonds was 762. Obviously he's the leader, but I see that like that doesn't surprise me. But you look at people like like you said, Mark McGwire, 583. With the amount of, when you think Mark McGwire, you think power and all those that run with him and what's his name?
Sammy
Sosa. He's
and Griffey, but Griffey fell off.
Right. But you look at that realm or that era, I mean, they were all juiced or whatever, obviously, but
I think
what are you gonna do? But I would have guessed Mark McGwire had over 600.
I think if Griffey would have stayed
me.
healthy, he would have hit 800. I've always said that.
See, yeah, what's he got? 630, 640,
630. I mean, he missed hundreds and hundreds of games.
Yeah, but when I look at Ken Griffey Jr., or when I think of Ken Griffey Jr., just off the top of my head, I think just solid. He's like he was just a hit. He was just like an automatic hit. Like what's his name? The Seattle Mariner, the little guy, the Japanese ball player. Ichiro. Yes, can't think of his name. Like Ichiro, that dude wasn't jacking it out of the park. Don't get me wrong, but he was a single machine,
Yeah.
And I don't think of Ken Griffey Jr. as a power hitter, as more of, I don't want to say a single machine, but just a hitting machine more.
Oh, Junior could hit the ball. Junior could hit the ball for sure.
Yeah, he could.
And this, I don't know if is it Ted Williams? Is he the all-time hit leader, Ted Williams?
Maybe. Hold on. All-time hit leader. MLB.
No, it's Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb is second. That's what I'm thinking of. Ty Cobb. It's Pete Rose is number one, but Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb, his stats are severely inflated.
So I have had this conversation with people before about Babe Ruth's numbers or Ty Cobb's numbers, those guys back then. I mean, why do you think it's inflated? Is just the game has changed, or
no? Because when Ty Cobb played, a walk counted as a hit. If he walked, it counted as a hit.
Really?
Yeah. So that's what I mean inflated. No. And see, I don't see what you just said. Like,
I didn't know that.
I don't think that's fair to say the game is inflated. or the game has changed. I do still think
Right.
it was inflated because if you're counting a walk as a hit, if you're counting something that's not a hit, that's not it.
Right, get hit by the ball and or whatever, something like that. I mean, that's like counting that as a hit. It doesn't. It's not a hit.
You can't say, oh, the game has changed, so this would be different. Of course, the game has changed because the guys playing now watch the guys of then, and the guys from then watch the guys from before then, and so on and so forth. So the game is going to evolve. So you can't say, oh, well, he wouldn't do this in this era, he wouldn't do that in this era. He did every athlete does the best they can do with what they got.
Yeah.
So you can't be oh, they're throwing so much harder now. Yeah, well.
Yeah, but they're also, I mean, like now we have, sports science basically.
Right.
I mean, back then they were just, here's a piece of wood, go out there, hit this little white ball as far as you can. There was no like, I don't want to say strategy or money ball or sports science, and now bats are made differently, balls are made differently.
I find it very curious that now that so many
evolve.
states have gone live betting, like now so many people can bet on baseball that, I mean, we've been trying to change the rules of baseball forever. And now all of a sudden there's all these things that change it. And it's like dimensional stuff. It's things that like people who have been handicapping baseball for a long time, we kind of are going to have to start over at square one, like in a sense, and I don't feel like that's a coincidence as for everyone going live sports betting. I really do not.
800. Like, yeah, there's so much in all sports, the way the game has evolved. Like Babe Ruth, he swung a 38-ounce bat, bro.
Yeah.
That's a tree limb.
Exactly.
That's a log.
And then went and pitched the game too. Like, I don't understand how all these people are like, oh, Shohei. Bro, you act like Shohei's first to ever do this? I mean, it's just he's just
the
retro.
first 100 years to do it, but
he's the first 100 years to do it, but he ain't the first one. But yeah, exactly, 38-ounce bat. Like, bro,
are you kidding me?
Yeah, right. He's swinging a log. The thing was this round.
A log.
You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, how could he not hit the ball? But now, you got to pipe bets and stuff. I mean, man, they just let everybody hit it with aluminum bats and take as much steroids as possible. Let's just juice it up with.
If Major League Baseball players used aluminum bats, you'd have to take all the fielders off the field. Somebody get killed.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah, Babe Ruth. Yeah, right here. Babe Ruth also ate hot dogs and drank beer during the games. Like, and 20-ounce curls. Yeah, 100%. Smoking have a cigarette hanging. He's got a heater hanging out of his mouth while he's up to bat. In the batter's box. Hold on, flipping his cigarette and then goes up. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. That's the Andre the Giant diet.
Different game.
Yep. Andre the Giant diet.
Yeah, Andre the Giant diet.
40 beers in a sitting. What?
I mean,
it takes a lot to fill them up.
Yeah, Andre drank a case of beer on his way.
Juice him.
Yeah, juice him. Just let him all juice. See whose head explodes first.
If they pitched to Bonds, he'd have hit over 1,000 homers. He had 688 intentional walks.
I don't think they should be allowed to. And this is probably a controversial rule, and I didn't think this through a whole lot, so don't give me a bunch of shit about it, people. But I don't think in some way, shape, or form you should be allowed to pitch around a guy more than one time in a game. That particular guy.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So it's if you want to at the end of the day, if you want to pitch around him, you can give him nothing to hit, then give him nothing to hit. But I don't know. I'm just
your challenges. You only get so many or time.
Right? Yeah, you only get so many. You can only pitch around them. Now baseball's changing. Baseball's, the bags are going to be bigger. Pitch count. Clock. Yeah, shift. Which you did all that shit. Yeah, you can't do the shift. You did all that stuff, and you can't. You can't. There's a certain the clock. Problem is now you rely on these umps who are human, and there's the human error effect. But now you rely on these umps to watch that clock because it depends on how many guys are on base. where the clock is set. You get more time for more guys on base. Less guys on base. You don't have nobody to check. You don't have no runners to check. So that's how the time's going to go. So it's not like a set time.
Right.
Like you get
I've seen 15
you get like 25 seconds if there's 2 men on, 20 seconds.
I mean,
if
I
there's
lived
one
this
man.
when I
That's
did
crazy
statistics for the Aviators with Kurt Alexander. He was the pitch clock guy. That was his job. I did the stats. He did the pitch clock. So this has been already, I mean, you guys know it's already been implemented. We need a freaking pitch clock. Like that needs to happen.
Oh, it's happening next year.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah,
but I mean,
but,
this is a good change.
But I don't
feel
like that baseball overthought it, in my opinion. If you're going to do the pitch count, or the pitch clock, just bring it in. But now it's like, and I don't know the exact number, but I think it's 25 seconds for 2 people, or is it? Well, go ahead,
is the minimum.
Yeah. So you get 15 with no men on base. Now, Justin Verlander, pitchers like that, and I only know that because he was former Tiger, he pitches fast. Like you give him, after he throws the ball, he's like this, give it back. Let's go. So he will have no problem. People like Max Scherzer, again, former Tiger, so I know a little bit about him. He will have a problem. He don't pitch that fast. People like Kershaw, those guys take their sweet ass time. You know what I mean? So they could have, you could see some difference in some pitchers having it. You know, and then what are they going to do if they go over the clock? Is that a ball?
Isn't it a balk?
It's a ball.
A ball, not a balk.
Yeah, it's a ball. So
I think there should be like a huge, like a loud horn, like the shot clock. It's just the whole stadium just.
I don't hate
it's
that.
going to rattle some pitchers because pitchers are very superstitious. And I mean, obviously, baseball players
like
are.
When all these rules go into effect, bet on overs because that's what it's leaning towards.
But see, I'm more excited about the shift going away. And like I don't mind guys moving around, but when you have like the third baseman in right field, that's ridiculous. But also at the very same time,
hit into left field. I don't know what to tell you.
But also at the very same time, guys like Joey Gallo or Cody Bellinger or whoever else, when they hit 173 next year with no shift, I don't want to hear it.
Right.
Well, it's like you don't become a professional basketball player if you can't also hit a layup with your left hand. You know, like it's like you got to be able to, I don't know, be a professional athlete about things.
One of the top 10 players in the NBA of all time couldn't hit a freaking free throw.
Who, Shaquille O'Neal?
Yes.
You pulled it together. He got better as he aged. Did you see what he said about Dennis Rodman, that he's the worst player to ever play basketball with?
Oh yeah, he hated playing defense against them, or hated playing against them, or whatever. But
no, they were on the same team when they were both on the Lakers. They were like, yeah. Shaquille was like, yeah, he would like go out and show up late. He'd be eating chicken and rice. He'd come in, give you 10 to 15 rebounds, and then he'd be out at the strip club drinking all night long at the club.
Right.
You know, like, we can't really say anything to him because it's Dennis Rodman and he's giving you 15 rebounds.
He's there. He has one job. He's not. Don't give Dennis Rodman the ball to hop a 3 at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's not what you do. You want Dennis Rodman under the basket getting you that rebound. Like everybody's got a role. Everybody needs to stay in their damn lane. And I think with the shift, taking away the shift, I like it, or I don't like it because I feel like you should be able to hit to both sides of the field. Yes. But at the same time, I don't like it because I don't like them taking it away because, look, you're trying to take away Moneyball, in my opinion. You're trying to take that away, and I don't understand that. Like, let the game evolve into whatever it is or whatever it does. You know what I mean?
Hit left, you deserve to be out because when you do, it's an inside the park home run.
Right? Yeah.
Just saying, at the end of the day.
Foxy.
Today, Cruz, draw no bet first half. For Foxy. Umpire Ron Kulpa ejected both managers in the same play, then didn't let the reliever warm up and left the game after getting hit by a foul ball. What a day. When was this? Was this that Guardians game? I know the Guardians had an issue with their umpire. Oh, no, that was with the substance in his hair.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
the caption was, tell somebody who doesn't watch baseball in 2022 what's going on here.
Right?
Because his hair was like curly. And like the ump was on the field, just like
massaging his head.
His hair was long, kind of like how mine was, but like Allie's. But He was in it, bro.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
You were
Supposed to be doing
supposed to
something
do
today.
something today, then I got sucked. I committed to doing something with my mother at, I thought 11:45, but apparently is now 10:45.
Jojo, if you got sucked,
she's here.
I mean, it is morning wood, so.
It happens. Okay, so we're about to get out of here. If you guys haven't put in your last Woody standing plays for this week, do it now, or put it in the comments of the video, or go over to Facebook and do it there on our Morning Woody Facebook page, which is right here. Also, like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Cam, how are you doing over at picksandparlays.net with your premium plays?
So I had a pretty good Saturday, week 1 of the NFL. I had 2 plays. They both collapsed right at the end of the game, so that pretty much sucked. But all in all, pretty well. We're still moving right along, and now that we've seen everything, I would imagine it's going to get better.
Yes. I would not imagine that it would not, because you're super sharp, and this is what you do for a living.
And if I did imagine it was going to get bad, I wouldn't tell you. So
that's fair. That's fair too. So everybody head over. What'd you say?
So I'm not telling none of y'all.
None of your business. So y'all head over to picksandparlays.net. Use this promo code NFL. That saves 20% off whatever you buy from Cam Ross. Check him out. Things are going down for real. The early bird special is over for the NFL season pass and the all football season pass, but you can still jump on Cam using that 20% off code and save yourself some money. That's really where the value's at the end of the day.
Text me, I'll put you on. I'll get you in long term for something.
Ooh. Do you still have the same text number?
Sure do.
This right here?
Yep.
Boom.
Just
write that down.
Yeah, it's just I can just do me now, but I can get you long term with me for a week or on my month. For a big deal. We'll work something out. Just come in and say like Morning Wood or Antelope or Duke Baby, something. So I know where you're coming from. And
Duke Baby.
Duke Baby.
You should be going in there and saying like Tar Heels for life. Let's go Mets, something like that. You should definitely talk some shit. Whatever you say.
I'll give you a day pass for $900.
Yeah.
Cam's
low price of $900.
Cam's promo code is it's all one word, so I'm just going to spell it out for you. It's capital F, capital U, capital A, capital T, capital L. Okay, just type it all out when you do that, and Cam will get you hooked up. He'll give you the good.
Maurice on your Braves. Cam, should the Braves be looking for a new closer? Yes, absolutely.
Yes, for sure. Kinley's going to screw them in the playoffs at least once. Kinley will blow them at least one game.
Assuming they make the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs. But if Kinley could do his job, the Braves would be up, 2-3 games right now. He's blown 3 saves in the last 2 weeks, 7 overall. He has 2 losses. He came into the game up 1-0. And it took him 10 pitches to lose the game the other day.
You got one job, bro. You got one job. Okay.
And clearly
that's a problem.
You don't know what it is.
Or how to do it. Maybe you know what it is. You just don't know how to do it anymore.
Man,
I don't know.
I don't know anymore. I know
you're not winning another one with that guy. Okay.
No.
So if you guys have not hit the like button already, do that. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Again, Caesar Sportsbook, up to $1,250 in your risk-free first bet for all new accounts. If you don't win, you get it back in a free bet, and you get 1,000 reward credits and 1,000 tier credits. That's what's up, guys. Get hooked up with Caesar Sportsbook. You can use this promo code MORNINGFUL or check out the description of the video and just click on the link. It's way easier that way. Trust me. If you're looking for premium plays from a professional who does this for a living, check out Cameron Ross. Use the promo code NFL. It'll save you 20% off all of his picks. And I think that is just about it for today. Jim Bob, this is what he's doing. That's not a real team. Come on. All right, I'll believe you.
Jim Bob.
Jim Bob.
Jim
Is that
Bob's
a
on
real
it.
team?
What a name.
Oh, and if you are one
Jim Bob
of
Cooter.
AB, Joan, and Michael, all of you need to pick again because you all lost. So you get to pick one more time. If you all lose again, that money rolls over. So
I
hope
heard you,
guys are
Lenny.
liking your picks, huh?
I heard Lenny.
Jim Bob
What'd he
Cooter,
say?
former offensive
Bob Cooter.
coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He was great.
Jim
His
Bob
name was
Cooter.
Jim. His
That's
name
a
was
real
Jim
person.
Bob. His mama named him Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah. Like Booger
What about
McFarland?
Dick
That's not his
Trickle?
real
Remember
name.
the NASCAR
Booger
driver,
McFarland.
Dick Trickle?
Did I get your pick, Michael Sampson? Yes.
Yes.
Suns
Suns plus
4.5 or Sun 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
All right. We are out of here. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Cruise over to Just Parlays right now with Scott Reichel and Chris King. And then don't forget about the Power Hour at 3 p.m. Eastern today. Game time decision at 5 p.m. Eastern today. Get all these things done. You guys are busy, okay? Take off the rest of the day because you have lots of things to do.
Yeah, you got to come
Very
hang out
busy.
with us. Watch us
Yeah.
talk.
That's just it.
Yeah. Just come
Um,
talk sports.
yeah. Isn't that what we want to do? Totally. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Good luck to everybody today, unless you're against Lenny.